Hello friends, welcome to Vedic Astrology, and today I am going to talk about aspects. So this whole video is on aspects. What are the rules you need to follow? What are the techniques you need to remember? Everything I'll explain in detail. So let's begin friends. My name is Rajesh Babbar and welcome to Vedic Astrology. You can watch my other channel, which is a Hindi version. All my videos which would be uploaded in Vedic Astrology are already there in Yamini Jyotish in Hindi. So let's begin. Aspects is a very important technique, you can say, in Vedic Jyotish, and there are certain rules you must follow before you study any chart or before you analyze any chart. So there are certain rules which are laid down by Rishi Parashar, and if you read or if you go through all the old books or which are our basic books, all these techniques are there in each and every book. So what are these techniques? I'll explain you one by one. Let's begin. Let's say I've taken an example of a chart. Let's say here it is number 7 sign and Mars is placed here, and Mars here is in direct motion. It is not retrograde. For retrograde certain rules are different for the aspects that I will cover in the next video or in the coming videos. So today I'm going to talk only about direct planets who are direct in motion. So Mars is placed here, and Mars has 3 different aspects. From the house where it is placed, like it is placed in the 10th house, from here it will aspect 1, 2, 3, 4. This is his 4th aspect. Then 5, 6, 7. On the 4th house it will throw its 180-degree aspect, which is common for all planets. All planets aspect their 7th house from where they are placed, and Mars will aspect 5th house also. This is the 8th aspect of Mars. But here I am going to talk about only the direct aspect, like the 180 degrees aspect, which is normally known as aspect on the opposite house where the planet is placed. So now here you need to remember few rules which I am going to explain now. First, you need to understand what are the degrees of Mars here. When a child takes birth in this world, certain degrees are assigned to certain planets, and these degrees play an important role while you make any prediction about any person. So degrees, there are a lot of predictions which can be done on the basis of degrees. This also I will cover in the coming videos. So let's take an example. Mars here is at 5 degrees. Mars here is at 5 degrees. So because he is in direct motion, Mars will enter here, and it covers approximately 5 degrees. So this is just I am taking a roughly example. So any planet when changes his sign, like Mars, when it was in Virgo, it entered in Libra, and from there it moved to 5 degrees, and on 5 degrees it stopped, and at the time of birth the Mars was at 5 degrees. So this is the area which Mars basically covered during his journey from 0 degrees to 5 degrees in a Libra. So this area will be affected more when Mars aspect the 7th house. This I'll explain you how this area will get more affected. So now Mars, let's say from here it will aspect 4th house, and here let's say this is Aries sign. Mars will aspect the Aries sign as well as 4th house, direct 180 degrees. So Aries will start from here, and let's say this is the 5 degree portion. This is the 5-degree portion of Aries, because Aries will start from here. One thing you need to remember is every sign has got 30 degrees. So this particular fourth house where number 1 is written, it has got 30 degrees and the house will start from here. This rule is applicable on Rashi chart only, not on Bhav Chalitam. Bhav Chalitam has some different rules which I will explain in coming videos, but today I am only explaining with the help of Rashi Kundali, like you can say birth chart. So now when Mars will aspect fourth house, the major impact of Mars aspect will only come on this particular part of that sign. Like from 5 degrees we can just assume it comes here. So the aspect of Mars, when Mars will aspect, because he is on the 5 degrees, the impact would be on the till 5 degrees of that particular house. So now let's move further ahead. What is the another rule? Let's say Saturn is placed here at 23 degrees. So now normally when you see a chart, when you analyze a chart, you will just have that notion that Mars and Saturn are aspecting each other. There will be struggle in life, there will be bloodshed, there will be disputes, there will be fights, a lot of predictions can come. But before that you need to know the degrees of both the planets. If Mars is at 5 degrees, his aspect is restricted to this area only, though it will aspect this area as well, like from 5 degrees to 25 degrees, the remaining part of the 30 degrees, but the impact will be more from 0 to 5 degrees of that particular house. So Saturn here is at 23 degrees, Mars 5 degrees. So this means they are aspecting each other, but there would be no such impact on both of them. Even Saturn aspect Mars, but there will be no impact on Mars, and Mars aspect Saturn, there will be no impact on Saturn. So this is the rule number 1 which you must remember. If planets are very close in degrees, then only the impact will come, then you can make predictions. This I will explain you in the second part now. So let's say I will remove this. Saturn is at 3 degrees in 4th house. So now what happens? Saturn will come in this particular area at 3 degrees. So this was the area which was impacted by Mars very powerfully, because Mars is at 5 degrees. So Saturn also comes at 3 degrees in this house. So this means now both Mars and Saturn are in exact aspect to each other. The degrees of both the planets, the difference between the degrees of both the planets is just 2 degrees. Mars at 5 degrees, Saturn at 3 degrees. So now you can make predictions, whatever you make predictions between Mars and Saturn, that will be more effective. Now Mars and Saturn when aspect each other, one major prediction you can predict about that person is there will be struggle in his life. Every time he would be struggling in terms of profession, because Saturn rules profession. Saturn is the karaka of profession. Saturn is the karaka of a job. If you are into job and Mars and Saturn aspect each other with close degrees, then there would be lot of struggle in your professional life, lot of disputes in your life. And when any particular bad Mahadasha runs and Gochar is also not favorable, like transit is also not favorable, there would be chances of accidents as well, because when Mars and Saturn collide each other, when they aspect each other with very close difference of degrees, there are a lot of chances that there could be an accident, and it could give a major problem in your life. So this is the basic rule you need to study about the aspects of planets. Now let's say any planet moving in the transit comes in Aries. Let's say Venus is moving in the transit. I am not talking about the birth chart now. In the birth chart the planets are fixed, but in the transit they are constantly moving. Every planet is changing its sign according to his duration of period, which is prescribed according to the Parashari Niyam. So let's say Venus comes in Aries. So when Venus comes in Aries, it will start from 0 degrees. So this is the major impact, because Mars is at 5 degrees. From 0 to 5 degrees, Mars will powerfully aspect that particular house. So when Venus comes here, both the planets will have lot of aspect between each other, and what will happen, Venus will get afflicted by Mars and Mars will be afflicted by Venus, or in the terms affliction you cannot say, but both the planets would aspect each other powerfully. So what will happen, Venus is your wife. So in this period, if you are married and your Mahadasha is not running good and your Antardasha is not favorable, this time there could be disputes between husband and wife. Or Venus is the Karaka for sex. Mars is the Karaka for excitement. Persons who are not married but they are having relations, this period can give a sexual relation between two of them. So there are a lot of predictions which can come from this combination, like Venus and Mars. But when Venus will move from this area, when he will come at 6 degrees, and when he will start moving forward, he will cross that 5 degrees borderline, then the aspect of Venus and Mars will not impact as it was impacting when Venus was at 0 degrees, 1 degrees to 2 degrees, because I have told you the reason behind it. So this is how you need to analyze the aspects. This technique is very, very important, friends, and lot of predictions can come through this technique. Normally if you see a chart, you see that moon is opposite to Jupiter. Jupiter is aspecting moon, but what is the difference of the degrees? That is the most important part in the aspects. Only when there is close aspect, like difference of 1 or 2 degrees or 3 degrees, that gives the highest percentage of effect between two planets, and then you can predict whatever both the planets signify. So this is all about aspects, and in the coming videos I will make videos on Bhav Chalitam as well, because it's a very important topic and you need to understand what is the difference between a birth chart and Bhav Chalitam chart. Thank you very much.